Hi, welcome back to the series Your Path to Wealth. This is week 2 in a 5-week series, and today in this video I'm going to give you 3 keys to understand the energies of you and money. Before I get started, I just want to introduce myself. My name is Alana Heim, and my name rhymes with banana, so Alana Banana works too. And from just a personal note, I am a mom, and I have a set of 3-year-old boy-girl twins, and I have a 9-year-old daughter who is actually having a birthday today. So here I am working, and she's off playing, so I just wanted to kind of recognize and give a shout out to my beautiful daughter, Taylor. Happy birthday. And if you want to send her a birthday wish, then send her a heart, because I know she's absolutely going to love that when she sees this video later. A little bit more about me. I am a certified public accountant. I am a personal financial specialist. I'm also a certified financial planner and a certified human design specialist. I have over 16 years experience in public accounting, and I'm also a contributing author to the book Abundance by Design. So you're going to learn a little bit more about energies, and you're going to see how important this book is and how it relates to you and your money. I'm the owner of Prosperity Alignment, which is the Facebook page that you're currently on to watch this video. And I work with people who struggle with money. And I love working with my clients because I get to help them take control of their finances so they can achieve financial prosperity and sustainability and freedom. And that's really important to me because I know that we are all here to be wealthy. We're all here to share our true gifts to the world. I have what I call the Prosperity Compass, and that's my uniquely designed program where I work with clients. And so ultimately, week 2, we're starting to step into kind of my second step about energies and working with those. And so I'm giving you just a little taste of kind of what I teach my clients, how I work with them, how I work with you, so that you can understand who you are. And the thing about where I am today, I had my own journey that I had to take. It wasn't always this way. It wasn't me always working in this dynamic of having my own prosperity compass and creating a path for my clients to truly understand their wealth inside. I know how hard it can be to literally know who you are, because that's something that I had a really hard time with. I was raised by my beautiful parents who loved to work, and they taught me to work, and I had that strong work ethic, and I still have that. But what I realized, it was actually burning me out, and I was struggling in the way of working in public accounting because it's a grind. You know, I was just tethered to that industry where day in, day out, I had my clients bring me their information and I had to do the work. And I'm really more of that kind of mentor, advisor, coach that has this knowledge and this depth about me and these gifts that I'm here to share. And it was really hard in that industry to really step out of the paradigm, and the billable hour was so important to really shine for the gifts that I have. And so I know how hard it can be to be authentic, to feel authentic, to really step into our powers so that wealth follows. And so today in this training, 3 keys to understanding the energies of you and money, this is what it's about. I want you to start to connect to who you are and to recognize kind of where you are with some of those struggles so that we can overcome them and you can truly step into everything that you're here to be, who you are here to be. Okay, so just to recap, last week was week 1, and that is where we actually, so this series is called Your Path to Wealth. In week 1, we were covering more of getting clear on the wealth that you want, because we have to have a vision. We have to know where we're going before we can get started. That can be really hard. And so I gave you 3 keys to get started. And so once you kind of know where you're going, the next piece that really can kind of inhibit you from being who you are is the fact that you might not know who that person is. You might not know who you are. And so today, that's where we're going. We're going to talk about the energies of you and money, because it's important to understand the energy of money and how you work with money so it can show up for you, so you can be supported, you can feel and be abundant. Okay, are you ready? If you guys are ready to learn a little bit more, go ahead and post a like or a heart. All right, key number 1, everything is energy. Okay, you already know this, but I want you to just take this perspective on that broad universal level. This is energy. Money is energy. You are energy. Everything that you do, everything that you are, is comprised of various energies that you are giving to others, that you may be receiving from others. And sometimes it's just simply so overwhelming to know, is that me? Is that you? Who am I here to be? And if I'm on this path to wealth, if I'm on this journey and I know what I want, but I don't know who I am, how am I going to get there? So when you start to recognize that everything is simply energy, whether that is positive or negative, that you get to choose how you view the energy around you. You get to see people for who they are, or who you think they might be, or who you want them to be. And you start to notice that that's maybe what happens to you as well. And so it's a matter of changing that perspective. In the way of money, we get to place the intention or the energy onto it. So if I feel very positively about money and I'm going to spend it, I am ultimately transforming this energy into a positive light that I am presenting to the seller or to whomever it is that maybe they provided services to me and I'm paying them for. But if I'm really angry and I'm really upset, is it going to feel good if you receive money from me and you can feel that tension, that anxiety, that anger? And so the more that we're aware that everything really is energy and it's a shift, it's transformation, it can be good, it can be bad, it can feel whatever it is that we're wanting it to feel. I want you to know that you can have everything that you wanted last week, everything that you want today. And if you're really focusing on, I see the energy, I see that I just met somebody, that is ultimately a piece of the how you're going to get to that goal that you're headed on. So everything is energy. Animals, plants, each of us, you and me, all of us. And it's a matter of kind of working with the energy. And a lot of times we've just been trained to kind of work against the flow, work against the energy. But money is energy and money likes to flow. And in that way, so do you. What you want needs to flow. And if there's any obstruction, that's what we have to get past. And we'll get there next week, more a little bit of mindset. But for now, this key is really important. So I hope that helps. Key number 2, know who you are. Now that sounds really easy, but I know how hard it is because I was conditioned to actually think that I was someone else, that I was different. And guess what? We all are different. And so even with me working with my clients, teaching you in these videos, I am speaking to you because I know how unique you are and how different you are, and that's what makes you you, and that's what makes the whole collective work together, because we each need these differences. We need these to step into to actually have a functioning society. So I'm more of a managing type of energy, that I can see what needs to be done and I can speak to that. But there are builders of the world, people who actually work, and they are here because they are good at what they do. and you are going to be good at whatever kind of energy you are, whatever type of energy that you have. But the struggle comes when we are taught and we are raised and we are told time and time again that go out and be like everyone else. You know, at a very young age, just like last week we talked about knowing what you want, we lose a sense of who we are because we're told we can't have it. Just go do what everyone else is doing. And so guess what that transformed into? The belief that you have to be like everybody else. And that you're here to be like me, or to think that you have to learn like I learned or be who I am so that you can achieve your goals. And I know that you have to know who you are and trust and believe and love that person to step into the role you're here to be, that the world needs you to be. So in knowing who you are, there's actually this energetic flow. There is the potential to flow with it or to flow against it. So just like if you're out in the ocean, that you know that it's easy to kind of catch the wave and go with the wave versus trying to paddle against the wave and have it be that much harder. So there's a strategy that each of us has that we have to honor and we have to follow to know what is correct for us. We each have our own authority for making decisions that are correct for you versus correct for me. I actually know that I have this emotional wave, this emotional authority, that if I literally went to the doctor and the doctor told me that I had to have surgery or there was something, so severe and important to do right now, I would actually be overwhelmed and filled with anxiety. And I would get flustered and think, I don't know what to do, because I can't make a decision that quickly. I need a little time to think about it. And half the population, roughly, has that type of authority for making decisions. So if you're like me, you may have lived most of your life thinking, I'm so indecisive. And for me being an entrepreneur, decision making is crucial. It's so important. And if I didn't know how to make decisions correct for me and I was trying to do what everyone else is doing, guess what? I fall on my face. And struggle ensues and failure happens. And it's not because poor me, it's not because I didn't do it correctly. In a way, it was more the energetic correctness of it, that there really is this flow that's here to help me be my best me. And now that I know that, it helps me even more to be successful. So that is absolutely important, for you to trust your decision making and feel really good, and to reconnect, just the same as reconnecting to what you want. I want you to reconnect inside and listening to your truth of what it is you want and if it feels correct for you. Because if you are not doing that, that's when later we have guilt and shame and we feel, like we second guess ourselves and we don't trust ourselves and we think less of ourselves. And I want you to overcome all of that and to feel amazing knowing that every time you have a decision, boom, you know how to do it, because that's what it's all about. It just helps you to also understand when you know who you are, you know when the opportunities arrive and you know how to seize them. You know that you are supported and you're abundant because when they show up, you know what to do. You know how to interact. You know how to really take control of those energies. And so ultimately, I'm talking about a tool that I use that is called Human Design. And one of the things I am going to give you a link to, and I'm going to post it in the comments, is I want you to know who you are. It's the basis to everything. It's the basis for you just being true to yourself and feeling good, and also starting to understand a little bit more of the energies around you, how you can decipher who you are versus your partner or a loved one or a child, and you can understand who they are and allow them to be that person, to let them shine instead of thinking, hey, I'm going to teach you who I want you to be, or that you're doing it incorrect, that you should try it this way. I want you to feel confident in knowing who you are. So the link's getting posted in the comments. The link is www.prosperityalignment.com/how. And ultimately, you are going to provide birth information, and I am going to give you your free chart with my free guide that will tell you a little bit more about the type. And that's going to play into kind of the first piece I was talking about of knowing your strategy. Because if that's the only thing that you knew and you could follow your strategy, most of the struggle and the barricades and walls that hold you back will come down. Because you're just going to suddenly go, oh, this is what I knew. I knew this about myself. But you didn't know how to use it. So key number 2, know who you are. I know I gave a lot of kind of background and information because that's how important it really is in understanding the energy of you and the energy of money, so that more of this can flow into your life because you allow it and you see it and you trust it. So moving on to key number 3, energy is never personal. Never. But guess what? It sure feels personal. So if I'm having an emotional day, you are possibly going to feel it, or you're going to take it personally when I just share information that I'm here to share. I try and guide you because I really want to help you, and that's my intention. It may feel like I'm nagging, I'm pushy, I'm a know-it-all, because that's how the energy can feel. But when we can step back and realize and recognize that I have good intention, I'm just being me. I want people in my life who see me for me and who allow me to be me. And if it feels personal, that we can have a conversation to figure out why it was upsetting or why it may have felt like I offended you. And the truth is, the more that you understand who you are and you get to step into that place, that being, the more you're going to shine, and you're going to want people in your life who support you. Because when you tell them, like, hey, I've got this opportunity, I'm going to go quit my job and I'm going to go start a business, you want people to be like, yeah, go do it. You can totally do it. But what happens is we have our own anxieties, we have our own inner issues or struggles, and sometimes we project that onto people and say, you can't have a business. You can't do it. And then all of a sudden it feels personal. Like you personally either want me to fail, you personally want me to, not do that and get outside of the realm I've been in. You want me to stay in like the rat race or stay working with you, or, and again, it's for me to recognize that person may be fearful and they're scared because maybe they're talking from a place that they knew that it didn't work for them, and they're just expressing that fear. It doesn't mean that they really mean I shouldn't do it. Maybe. But I can still take it for what it is. And I can still be on my path and go, okay, well, thank you for sharing. But guess what? I'm still going to go start that business. And really, you're going to start that business or you're going to go after that dream because you're following your strategy and you're listening to whatever authority you have on making a decision. And it feels really, really good. That's the key. If it doesn't feel good or you're hesitant in any way, it's either not correct for you or it's just not right timing. So it's never personal. Even if somebody's having a bad day and they yell at you at work, or your family member is agitated and they're frustrated and they take it out on you, they didn't mean to. More than likely, they are just frustrated and they don't know how to express it, and that's what they're doing to help get it out. And if you can be that sounding board and allow for people to have the space to actually share where they're coming from and how they're feeling, you're helping them to be authentic, and you're helping them to overcome their struggles and some of the beliefs and some of just the natural intuitive responses they've had that they're now learning to overcome. That's powerful. So energy is never personal. It sure can feel like it is, but I want you to just start to kind of shift and realize and remember, wait a minute, what did Alana say about energy feeling personal but it's not? Because it's just simply energy. It's constantly moving, it's going, it's there, and it's always there. And that's kind of the fun part too, because this is why we like to connect with different people, because we're attracted to different people that bring us different energies that we get to experience. Energies that can be really exciting, sometimes can feel a little traumatizing or melancholy, but at that point it's something to learn from. It's always that learning experience, something to kind of help you on your journey, your path to wealth, to achieving more money, achieving inner happiness, achieving the dreams that you have that you really want. And I want you to get there. So just to recap, I gave you 3 keys to understand the energies of you and money. And the first key was to remember that everything's energy. It really is. The second key, know who you are. And then the third key is energy is never personal. And the more you can really start to decondition from your old beliefs of who you were, and you can step into the truth of who you are, the more life is just going to start to evolve for you, and you see it in a new light, and you see people differently, and you get to really enjoy them as much as they get to enjoy you. And if your path is as an entrepreneur, or you have a business, or you're looking to start one, that's exciting because you want to know what your strengths are, so you can really just be supercharged and go out there and express who you are, because we need you, and people want to work with you because of who you are and the gifts that you bring. So before I wrap up, I just want to share, I know we were going to post that you can get your free human design chart, and the link is www.prosperityalignment.com/how, and the birth information is your birth date, birth time, birth location. If you absolutely cannot find your birth time, let me know. I can run multiple times, and I want you to know who you are. I want you to be stepping into this powerful you, because that is who you are. You're here to be beautifully powerful and even imperfectly perfect, because guess what? We all are struggling in this world, and we're constantly bombarded with new energies and things that are going on, and it's kind of part of the journey. It's what makes that struggle adventuresome and adventurous and fun. So if you think that this video was helpful and there's anybody that you want to tag so that they can get a little bit of information or inspiration by watching it, please tag them in the comments below. And before I leave, I want to know, why does it feel hard? Do you know what the struggle is for you being you? What's the fear around that? And share that, because guess what? You're not alone. We all have these fears, and we all have these struggles, and if we can help each other to see each other for who we are, realize the energy is not personal, that you're here to be you, I want to help you get there, and I want to help lift you up. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Next week is week 3 in this Your Path to Wealth series, which will be on August 4th, same time, noon Pacific Standard Time. And next week, the topic is 3 keys to create a wealthy mindset. So I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Have a beautiful weekend, and I'll see you then. Bye.